Erin Patten, and I am so excited to be back with you guys this week because I want to encourage you to live in your authentic truth. I mean, it is just, without a doubt, so important that we all honor who we are, honor that which we represent, and be in the moment. Be in the moment, be in our truth, and be all that we 100% are. And I just can't overstate this enough because I've just been through hell and back in the past month, and we'll get into that later. However, it's the most important thing to get through whatever trial, whatever challenge, whatever you're going through in this life. And I had to be serious about it because it's just the ultimate importance. It's why we're here on this planet. It's why we're here doing this work every single day. And let me just start first by saying the reason why it's difficult for us to oftentimes live in our authentic truth is because we are wearing masks. That's why I have this title as Mask Off. It is time to take off the mask, lift the veil, and be all that you were born to be. Be all that you were created to be all that God made you. And not only be it, accept it, love it, nurture it, talk to it, speak it up, affirm it, all those things. Because you know what? No one else will. No one else will. You have to always know who you are. And let me just tell you about this mask off thing, because we wear masks almost from the moment we are here. You know, when we're in grade school, we're taught to fall in line. We're taught to raise our hands. We're taught to follow the rules. And yes, that's important in terms of social conditioning, but also it strips us of our unique identities. It strips us of our unique abilities. We're all told to do the same thing every single day for literally 18 years or 16 years, however you want to put it in terms of the grade school context. So think about that. Think about this mask that we wear to please our parents, to please our teachers, that then goes into higher education. If we, make it to college, we're pleasing our professors, our, interviewees to get jobs. So by the time we're getting into corporate arenas or in organizations or in the jobs or in medical professions or wherever you may find yourself, you're just in many ways a clone of that which came before you. You many ways lose that which makes you special, that spark, that which is uniquely assigned to you. And that's part of the mask wearing. It's part of, walking in and just making sure I can socialize and accommodate the people around me. But what about me? What about what I stand for? And then, of course, those masks translate into our personal lives. How can I be the best partner? How can I please my partner? How can I please my mother and my father and my children? And we all lose ourselves in that process. The truth gets lost. And that in itself is so crushing. It's so crushing. You know why? You know why? Because what happens when you're challenged? What happens when you're faced with unforeseen circumstances? What happens when you have obstacles, things in your life that you just never expected that would just bring you to your knees? And let me just tell you, I had that happen to me in the past month. Literally, I had been going through some very severe custody issues with my child's father and got my child taken away from me. Yes, I'm telling you, my child had been gone from my life for over a month. And that's why I wasn't posting on Instagram. That's why I wasn't trying to be, litty at any time, because it was just like, how in the world is this happening to me? How in the world am I being, in many ways, feeling like punished? My child, who I nursed 3 times a day since birth, is gone over just bitter custody control issues. And I know so many people, men and women, go through this, but I just never thought that I'd find myself in this position. And the only thing that kept me alive, that kept me waking up every single day, was knowing who I am. Knowing who I am, knowing what I stand for, knowing that I am worthy. Knowing that I am worthy of life. Knowing that I am worth fighting for. And I think that is what happens when we get into these spaces where we maybe may not know who we are, while we find some of our friends, myself included, committing suicide or just getting depressed and not getting out of the dumps, or literally going off the deep end. And I literally have experiences with all three. With all three. And in order to keep our sanity, in order to keep our balance, we have to know who we are. We have to know who we are, because when times get tough, how do we know where we stand? How do we know where we stand if we don't know who we are? How do we know we're worth fighting for if we don't love and value ourselves enough? And how do we know that this world needs us, that people need us, if we don't love ourselves, if we don't know our purpose? And that's why it's so important to live in your authentic truth. And if you aren't able to fully live in your authentic truth, to work towards it, to work towards affirming yourself, to work towards loving yourself. Because when times get tough, you're going to get tested. You are going to get tested. Your courage will be tested. Your strength will be tested. Your fortitude will be tested. Your mental stability will be tested. And all of that will happen in this lifetime, whether we want it to or not. And that is why it's so important for us to live in our authentic truth. And finally, do not let your conditions define you. Do not let people around you define you. Do not let anything outside of you define you. Only you know you. Only you know you. And that is what got me through. That is literally how I was able to wake up every single day with my affirmations, with my meditation, with my crystals, with my journaling, with my tribe that poured into me. Being able to surround yourself with people who love you, being able to surround yourself with just positive energy, getting out into nature, hugging trees. Literally, I'm telling you, I'm out here hugging trees now. I'm hugging trees. I'm sitting under trees. I'm talking to plants. I'm doing all that I can to connect with all that is around me. Because how can I show up for myself if I allow conditions to define who I am? If I allow what other people say about me to define who I am? If I allow other people's judgments to define who I am? That doesn't make any sense. Yet, when we wear the masks, that's exactly what we do. That's exactly what we do. We allow the criticism and the judgment and the critique by others to define who we are, as opposed to taking it for what it is, as critique or advice or someone else's opinion. And you can potentially say, oh, opportunity to work on, opportunity to grow, or else leave it. Or else leave it. Because only you know who you are. And when times get tough, only you can get yourself out of it. And when I'm telling you, the masks must come off, the masks are off. Live in your authentic truth. Know who you are, and you will get through anything. When I'm telling you, anything in this life with grace, with appreciation, with love, with peace, I'm telling you, it's the greatest feeling of all. And with that, I just want to thank you for listening to this message. It has been an honor and privilege to share this with you and get through this month. And I thank all of you who were there for me, who supported me, who lifted me up, even unconsciously. Go to my website, erinpatten.com. I love you all. Peace.